for all of us around the country with advancing technology. Now, as a parent, what excites me the most about this is what does $1,000 a month actually mean in real life? What it means is that kids get better food, their nutrition gets better, they get healthier. What it means is that kids have a better chance to learn and graduate from school at higher levels. It means that all of us have our relationships improve a bit because our stress levels go down, our mental health goes up, and we can look at each other with more of a mindset of abundance and love and generosity. Wow, that's well worthy. Domestic violence would go down, hospital visits would go down, you know what would go up? Arts, creativity, volunteering, entrepreneurship. Yes, all of these things would go up. All of you are thinking, yeah, if I had $1,000 a month, like I could do some interesting things with that. So that is what we can make a reality together, because there is nothing stopping the majority of citizens of a democracy from declaring ourselves a dividend. Nothing at all. So what they did in Alaska, we can do for the rest of the country. And I want to say the Democratic Party is supposed to be the party of female empowerment. But right now, there are millions of American women around the country who are stuck in exploitative or abusive jobs or relationships because they lack the economic means to improve their situations. And what would $1,000 a month mean for those women? Freedom, that's right. Millions of women could say, you know what? I don't need this boss. I don't need this job. I don't need this boyfriend or whatever it is. You could improve their situations. And that's what we can make happen. We can talk about female empowerment, equality, or we can do something about it. You want to do something about it? It would also help communities of color who have lower access to education and opportunities. It would help LGBTQ citizens who get kicked out of the house and fired from jobs more often or economically marginalized. So again, we can talk about these rights, or we can put $1,000 a month into all of our hands and use that as a starting point. Are you with me? So that is the freedom dividend. It's going to be glorious, and I have to say, it's catching fire from both sides of the aisle. Like, people are loving it, that, you know, not just here in San Francisco, but in Iowa and other parts of the country, people are rallying around the fact that we can make this happen, we can make our economy trickle up. Yes, the trickle up economy from human beings and families and communities up. Unlike that trickle-down garbage they sold to us years ago that everyone knew didn't work, even at the time. They were like laughing about it. They were like, this stuff's never going to work. So that's big pillar number one, the freedom dividend. Number two, we have to get healthcare off of your backs. Am I right? It is messed up and immoral that in the richest and most advanced economy in the world, we get more stressed out about navigating our crazy healthcare system and paying for treatment than we do actually getting well. I mean, that's crazy. Am I right? Yeah. And the same thing happens with our loved ones, too. It's like if they get sick, too, it's like, oh, so much stress around the system. We spend twice as much as other countries to worse results. And anytime someone says, where are you going to get the money for Medicare for All, it drives me crazy. Because I looked at the numbers. Yeah, the math works out. We spend 18% of GDP on our health care, twice as much as the other countries. And it's coming off of our backs, it's coming out of prices, it's coming out of businesses. So if you go to businesses and say, hey, good news, I'm going to take that health care off your hands, then they would love that. The money, there's so much money in the system, we're going to save a ton of money. And the third pillar, how many of you all get excited about GDP when you wake up in the morning? You're like, yeah, I'm going to make a big contribution today. And I like to talk about my family here. My wife is at home with our two boys, one of whom is autistic. And what is her work valued at in GDP? What is the market value of her work at? And we know that's nonsense. We know that the work she's doing is incredibly valuable and important and challenging for the next generation. So we need to start measuring our economy in ways that would actually matter to us. We have to get excited about what economic progress looks like. So what would excite you all? I'm going to try and excite you right now. Even as a priest comes in, it's like, oh man, he's going to talk about something exciting. So let's see if it works. How about mental health and freedom from substance abuse? How about how healthy we are? How about how our kids are doing? How about clean air and clean water? How about how many of our elderly citizens can retire in decent circumstances? So that's how we should be measuring our economy. And I'll say, as president in 2021, it's going to give me so much joy. I'm just going to walk down the street to the Bureau of Labor and Statistics, and I'm going to say, hey guys, GDP, almost 100 years old and really stupid. We're going to update it right now with these new measurements that actually matter to us. We're going to call it the American Scorecard, and I'm going to report on it to the American people every year. I'm going to have a PowerPoint deck. I'm going to be the first president with a PowerPoint deck every year. Yeah, instead of that bizarre theater performance we get subject to every year, I'm going to have facts and figures. I'm going to show us how we're doing, and it's going to say, look, and this is where it gets heartbreaking. It's going to say, look, 8 Americans are dying of drugs every hour. Our life expectancy is declining for the last 3 years. The last time that happened was the Spanish flu of 2018. Suicides just overtook vehicle deaths as a cause of death for the first time in American history. These are the numbers. This is the brutal reality that we're facing right now. This is why Donald Trump's our president, and we owe it to ourselves and our country to solve the problems that got him elected in the first place.
Yes.
So this is the vision of a human-centered economy. This is what I need you all to take with you to the rest of the country. And I have to say, I'm an odd choice to run for president. I mean, I gotta say. It's like, you never heard of me, like, what, 3 weeks ago? Joe Rogan, yeah, it's like Joe Rogan. Yeah, I owe Joe a great debt, it is true. I'm definitely, Breakfast Club too, yeah. I'll tell you guys, when I'm in the White House, like, Joe Rogan and the Breakfast Club hosts are going to be some of the first people I invite. We're going to do, like, a special show from the White House. I'm an odd choice to run for president, but I gotta say, like, I think that what we need is a new voice and a new set of solutions to the problems of this country. Am I right? Yes! We have to start addressing the problems that got Donald Trump elected, and I hate to say it, but he got some of the problems right. But his solutions are the exact opposite of what we need. He says build a wall. I want to give immigrants a hug. He says turn the clock back. I think we need to turn the clock forward as fast as possible. He said I'm going to bring the jobs back, and I say, look, we have to start thinking about what my wife does and what everyone does as work and broaden the definition of what jobs are. Now, we are all looking around for the guy or gal to beat Donald Trump in 2020, and I'm going to submit to you all that I am that guy. Because yes. Andrew Yang! Andrew Yang! Chant my name! Chant my name! Andrew Yang! Andrew Yang! That's some funny shit to say. But I am the guy to beat Donald Trump because the opposite of Donald Trump is an Asian man who likes math. Thank you all, San Francisco. Thank you all, we love you. Let's win this election. Let's win this whole thing. Thank you. Give it up for Andrew Yang. Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm Zach. I'm Andrew's campaign manager. Isn't this guy freaking awesome? I see him every day. He's the real deal. But you know what would make, as awesome as he is, you know what would make him a little more awesome right now? The math hat. Oh, you look beautiful. Listen, real quick, I'm going to tell you where we're going from here. Last year, the New York Times called Andrew Yang a longer than long shot for the White House. Look around. Does this seem like a longer than long shot to you? No! We've already smoked the 65,000 donor requirement to get another base state. Is that a longer than long shot to you? No, we're outraising all the other Democrats. Or is that something like a longer than long shot to you? You kidding me? But why? Why is this happening? Joe Rogan. As awesome as you are, it's not just about Andrew. It's not about me. It's not about our team. It's not about you. It's not about you. It's about us. It's about us. It's about enough American people standing up and saying, we're tired of the noise, we're tired of the bickering, we're tired of the fighting. Guys, it is not left. This is not right. It's forward. It's not left. It's not right. It's what? Forward. So the question for all of you this evening is very simple.
What is foreign policy?
That's a good question. It's on the website, along with 70 other policies. The question is for all of you, before you go tonight, is will you fight for this man? Will you fight for this man? Let's hear San Francisco. Will you fight for Andrew Yang? Andrew Yang!